Well, the fans gave it their best shot here at Sardis Road today, as did the team they supported. But they'll go home disappointed. 2 points they wanted, 1 they got. But what a game of rugby they saw, and no doubt that will fill their hearts with some sort of joy come the end of the day. Let's have a check on the score then. 29 all. Pontypridd pushed Brive right to the wire, but not beyond. Finished 29 apiece. Here are the facts. Set-piece possession, 21 all. Pontypridd struggled a bit up front in the scrums, and the retained possession pretty much on a par as well. And look at those tackles, 51 and 45. The defence was awesome from both sides for the most part of today. Pontypridd, perhaps their undoing, conceded 14 penalties to Brive's 9, and Christophe Lamaison in the main kicked pretty amazingly with his boot and kept Brive well in contact with the whole game here this afternoon. And gentlemen, take a deep breath. Pontypridd yet again robbed. You've got to feel a little bit sorry for them, haven't you?
Yeah, dreadfully disappointed for Ponty. I think if they were playing in any other pool in this competition, I think you'd probably be topping it by now, because they've played some scintillating rugby throughout. They're scoring tries. Any team that scores 3 tries against Brive has to be doing well. They're doing something right. And
Stuart, they got so close. Where didn't they win it at the end? It was there for them to do so.
Well, I don't know. In many ways, I'd say how the heck didn't Brive win it? For the simple reason, games at this level are won up front, and Brive controlled the forward effort, and I think Pontypridd did brilliantly to draw, because they had no real platform. It was so much better for Bonnet and Penno than John and Jenkins, because they were going on the back foot all the time. And the fact that Pontypridd conjured so many good back moves is a real credit to them. And I agree with Ian, it was very tough on Ponty to be in a group like this.
Well, there were some wonderful individual performances out there today. Let's have a look at how you voted for man of the match. Of course, on the telephone vote, you'll see there that Paul John gets the man of the match with 31% of your vote. Christophe Lamaison, with his prolific kicking, getting 29%. It's pretty close between those two. Wyatt, who had a wonderful game and looks a great prospect for Wales, with 26%, and the others totalling 14%. And Paul John, our man of the match, is at this moment talking to our reporter, Will Chignall.
Well, Paul, many congratulations. You've been nominated man of the match. There's the award. Pure drama all afternoon.
Yeah, it's obviously, when you look at the last game, it was a great game, and I'm glad that today's game was no different. You know, both sides could have won it, and they played good rugby, and you know, they showed why we all play rugby, really.
Not a squeak of trouble. 1 point in it last time. Exactly the same. It was a perfect result, really, from the viewer's point of view, from the crowd's point of view. Yeah, well, as we said, you know, both games are great games. The crowd down here love a good game of rugby. I don't think there's any dirty point in that game at all, you know, when both sides concentrate on playing rugby, and it just proves what both sides can do. So, yeah, I think a good advert for rugby, really. You struggled a bit in the penalty count. Lamaison was clinical, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he didn't miss. I think he missed 1 penalty and 1 drop goal all afternoon, which was, you know, was a bit demoralising, really. You know, see him kicking them all the time, but it's our discipline. We gave away too many penalties, and he kicked the points, so we could look at our own performance there, really. Is a draw good news or bad news for yourselves? Well, with all the emotion of the game, you know, and everything, all the build-up and everybody watching, you know, I think we'd be glad to get something out of the game. It'd have been doubly disappointing if we didn't get anything, but obviously at home, this looks like a point dropped, but at least we got something out of the game.
All credit to Brive, though, they did not come here to make up the numbers, did they?
Well, no, that's why they're European champions, you know. They proved that when they wanted, they could play great rugby, you know. They wasted a few chances against Bath last week, and that game could have been a different result as well. And no, they're a great side, and they proved it today.
Paul John, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, Paul John, they're echoing the feelings, no doubt, of the rugby world, that it was a great advert for rugby and the Heineken European Cup. And let's talk the game through now with Stuart and Jan. And first off, they came so close at the end. Gareth Wyatt almost over. I mean, you held your breath in your hand there. There's such an expression.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Thanks for that graphic illustration, Stuart.
But yeah, only exceptional defence by Viaz, who came across from the right wing to, as a good right wing should, you know, come across and put a marvellous tackle in the corner. It had possibly even a penalty there, because he didn't use his hands. It was a shoulder charge, really, the touch. Yeah. So possibly a penalty might have been given. But even saying so, he did it really, really well to get across there and prevent a try. There were actually 3 cover tacklers there, Stuart, and that really was match-saving, wasn't it?
Yeah, Brive defended very well. They had to. When Pontypridd did get ball, they were very dangerous. And Viaz, let's remember, he's a full-back by trade. but he's got the instinct there. He knows there's danger. Ponty sprang it very well. That was beautiful play. And I tell you what, the fact that Jonathan Evans came on and hit his man in the line-out made a lot of difference, and I just wonder whether that would have made a difference, because that was off good line-out ball and they didn't get enough.
There's a lot of pace out wide in the Pontypridd backline, isn't there? And Gareth Wyatt scored a wonderful try in the first half, and it's a shame perhaps that they didn't move the ball wider more often.
Well, I'm an ex-outside half and Yain's a current winger, so he'll say great try for Wyatt. For me, Yain, this is Neil Jenkins. It's a beautiful pass.
I said so at half-time. That was a magnificent cut-out pass. Took two people out. The Brive defence was up in a line and he just took him completely out of the game. Wyatt does very well. Hands off Carrack to score in the corner. Good winger's try.
It's a strong player, Wyatt. I mean, I know, Yain, you're not getting any younger, if you don't mind me saying it. He looks like...
I rate him very highly, actually. Come off either foot. Exhilarating pace, you know, comes out very quick off the mark, you know, and this is a burgeoning talent, and I think he's an international winger in the future.
I was going to say, difficult for you to say, but has he caught the selector's eyes?
I'd have thought so. I'd have thought he's going to be
for the future, Yain, though, for the future.
I mean, we're talking decades down the line, obviously.
I don't know about decades, but this is a man that's destined for stardom, I think, on the international stage.
Well, another man who looked very impressive was David James for Pontypridd. Let's see his first half try now. And Stuart, it was another effective move from Pontypridd.
Yeah, well, I've got to say, Paul John took this very quickly, and that is a superb pass there, really. Drew his man. Williams did very well. Outside break. I thought LeMaison, who kicked beautifully, was actually caught out of position there. It wasn't a full-back's tackle, Yain.
No, there's a poor tackle, but again, Martin Williams on the open side for Pontypridd put a good miss-pass in again, and the two tries came from superb take-out passes. You know, really took the Brive defence. We've got a very good defence when it comes to it. Really took them. They're very flat-line defence, and these miss-passes do work against them.
And that meant that they went into half-time only trailing by 2 points. Well, let's get the reaction now of the Pontypridd skipper, Neil Jenkins. He's talking to Will Chignall.
Neil